Hello, it is the DE Diva, aka the Delaware blogger, coming to you with another episode of Podcasting Your Purpose. It is Tuesday, June the 9th, 2020. It is flying by. The month just started. I was just here talking the other day with the end of May. Now here we are in June. I hope that you're doing well. Today's episode, podcasting best practices, I'm going to break it up into two parts. Reason being, I have to do some additional video for my website, which is ablakeenterprises.com. I used to have a video years ago, and it was a long video, like 15 minutes. Why I thought someone would listen to me for 15 minutes, I don't know. I like to talk, but I don't think people are going to listen to a intro for 15 minutes. So I'm working on a new landing page for ablakeenterprises.com, and I promised my web designer that I would have that video to her today. So I'm going to get that done no longer than 3 minutes. So I'm coming to you early today on YouTube to give you today's podcasting your pointers best practices part one. And I'm going to break it up. I'm going to do 5 today and 5 tomorrow, because you know what? When you're starting out in your podcasting, there is a lot to learn. Not so much a lot of information to learn, but just trying to get into the groove of things. And if you've been following me along these past, I don't know how many days, I got to go back and count or even see what day I started. All I know is that I wanted to come to you, my friends, my followers, on a daily basis to give you tips on starting your podcast. And that's what I have been doing here on YouTube. And then on Saturdays, Saturday morning, if you go over to my Anchor FM station, let me show you that ID, Delaware blogger, that's me, the DE Diva. If you go over there, you will hear some of these podcasting tips. Now, you're saying, well, why are you doing the same tips on your podcast that you're doing on your YouTube channel? Because you have a different audience. I have different audiences. Some people prefer to hear me, others prefer to see me, and others just want to read. So that's why I also have my blog, Del Blogger. So again, when you're trying to capture your audience and you're trying to broaden your brand and expand your exposure online, you need to be where your audiences are. Again, some of my audiences prefer to watch my YouTube channel. And don't forget, if you are watching now and you subscribe to this channel, thumbs up this video and share it with your family and your friends. Some people would prefer to hear my podcast while they're doing chores, while they're walking the dog, while they're working out, while they're washing dishes, because you can do other things with a podcast, which makes it so great. And then sometimes people just want to read a blog post. I've been writing since 2012. I have followers that, and readers who have been following me since then. So they prefer to read my words, read my blog. So those are just different reasons why you should think about broadening your brand, whether you're a professional speaker, an author, an educator, a teacher, a preacher, even a talk show host. Having a podcast is getting even more a wider audience for you. So let's get started with today's podcasting best practices part one. And today's mug, can you see it? I don't think you can see. The light is not that good today. Whatever. Anywho, it's just displaying the dinner en blanc, the white mug, Wilmington. So again, if you have a mug that you want me to feature here on my YouTube channel or in my blog, let me know. Send me an email, info@ablakeenterprises.com. So let's bring this light back up there. Cool. What do you think? Let me know. Leave a comment below. So let's get coffee. My husband said, I thought you said you're not supposed to drink on camera. And I tell him that all the time. I'm like, Zoom. Have you ever seen people on Zoom? Oh, that's a whole story for a different day. But people on Zoom, they're sitting there eating and munching, and they're not even paying attention, and they're not on mute. But one of the things I say is always have some water coffee, tea, beer, wine, no judgment here, to keep yourself hydrated, to keep your mouth moist, because as you're talking, your mouth is going to dry. So one of the things, again, whether you're starting out as a new blogger or a new podcaster, your topic is very important. You want to make sure that you have a topic that you're passionate about. And this is not to say that you can't deviate. You can't, start one way and then go off on another. But what I want you to really think about before you even jump into it, what is it that you can talk about day in, day out? Not saying that you're going to do a podcast show each and every day, but it should be a topic. It has to be a topic that you're passionate about, not something that's latest and greatest trend. Not saying that anything like that is bad, but you want to be able to say, hey, okay, I want to talk about this topic. So each week I have either a guest on, or I know what I'm talking about and I can give information, education, or inspiration to my listeners. You don't want to have a topic. And remember, in that episode, PodFad, 7-episode itch, you don't want to get to your 7th episode, realize that the topic that you're talking about is boring you, you're not getting the listeners, and you're just not feeling it. And you want to make sure that it's something that, again, that keyword, you're passionate about. What are you going to talk about week after week, month after month, year after year? And you don't have to recreate the wheel, because we all have a voice. We all have a vision. We all have a mission. So what it is, and you can only do you, boo-boo. Again, you can't be me. I can't be you. So whatever your topic is, make sure that you're passionate about it, passionate enough that you want to talk about it week after week after week. Okay? And when you're setting your schedule, when you're launching your podcast, make sure that you have at least 3 in the bucket. Why? Because suppose you just found me, for the first time, this is your first time tuning into me on YouTube, and you're like, oh my goodness, I love the DED, but oh my goodness, I love the Delaware Blogger. What else does she have? Well, now you can go back and you can see that I have other episodes. So just all by the off chance that your first time listener loves your podcast, give them something to go to next episode so that they can binge, never make it like one and done. So if you want, when you launch your podcast, so you're saying, okay, every Wednesday at 1, you need to go to Blog Your Way to a Business Profit and listen to episode, 5. Then you know that there's 4, 3, 2, 1. There's other episodes that you can listen to. So if you can, as you're working on your podcast, if you can have 3 already in the bucket, of course, your introductory one, but then, release the next one and the third one. That way, if you have a new listener who just fell in love with you, fell in love with your topic, fell in love with your voice, fell in love with your mission, your vision, your values, give them something else to listen to as well. So you want to get them, you want to hook them in, and you want to keep them. So that's why a lot of times we say have more episodes in the bucket. Same thing with a blog. Number 3, how are you going to promote your podcast? This is one question that I read each and every day, and a lot of podcasters struggle. They're not sure how to properly promote their podcast, because you remember, you are competing against a lot of podcasts that are already out there. Remember, there's over 1 million podcasts on various platforms. So you may have a niche that you think is unique, but it's not. So you're going to have to make sure that you are promoting yourself. You have to, give that call to action, not only while you're, to your listeners, because you always want to tell your listeners how to find you, where to go, the call to action, but you got to promote it on social media. I don't care if you only have Facebook or Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever the case may be. Make sure you're promoting it on your social media platforms, and not just one and done. You may publish every Wednesday at 1. And so you're promoting it the hour before, hours before the time that it drops. And then again, later on that day, later on that week, later on that month, later on that year, if the content is evergreen, meaning it's content that you can listen to no matter what. It's not seasonal. It's not, holiday driven. If your content is evergreen, you can share it for years and years and years. And even if it is evergreen, that's okay. You heard of Christmas in the summer, right? So use your platforms, use the apps, Buffer app, Hootsuite. I personally use Promo Republic and Meet Edgar. That way I can put it into a queue and it will come out, as time goes on. So I don't have to just do it one and done. So make sure you're always promoting your podcast. If you're not promoting it on social media, then promote it in your email. Do you have an email list? Are you capturing emails? If you are, you should be sending emails to your listeners, letting them know that you have a new episode out. You can do a monthly or even a weekly newsletter reminding people what the episode is about. Give them some more information. If there's affiliate links in there, you can have them clickable. Again, thinking about monetizing, because when you first go in, you're probably not going to make any money for a while unless you're somebody rich and famous and you've got worked the system. But normally you're going in with a little budget and no thoughts of making any major money, no additional stream of income. But if you're promoting it in your social media platforms, in your blog, on your website, oh my gosh, you need a website. That's business practice number 4. You need a website or a blog. You need to have a base for your broadcast. Where can I go to hear everything? Where can I go to get those show notes? Where can I go to get that book? Remember, Podcasting Your Purpose workbook. This is available on Amazon, and this is a great workbook that I've created. It's 42 pages, and it's going to help you with the setting up of your podcast. It goes into what is a podcast, why start a podcast, the power of podcasting, planning your podcast, podcasting like a pro. Are you going to use a microphone? Now, a lot of people say if you're going to use a condenser microphone, similar to this is a condenser microphone, as is a Blue Yeti. Those are condenser microphones. And if you're going to use them, the lighting in here looks terrible. What's that mean? If you're going to be using a condenser mic, make sure that you're in a very, very quiet room. I'm in my home office. It's a nice size office, but I've got the door closed. And if I wanted even better sound quality, I would go into the closet. I would use my booth, whatever the case may be. But condenser mics pick up everything. If you hit the table, the reverberations from the table, you're going to get that. So find a microphone, whether it's a condenser mic like this or the Blue Yeti, or it's a different type of mic. You want to make sure that you are getting it out there. What do I talk about microphones for? Okay. Get yourself a home base. That's what I was talking about. See, I just forgot. Let me have a coffee. Maybe I need another cup of coffee. Maybe it's too early. Oh, now I know. This is what happens when you become a boomer and you're 59 years old. Your website or your blog, and you can promote your products and your services. So again, I was talking about what's in the booklet. Man, you guys are gonna say, what is wrong with that Antoinette today? So podcasting like a pro, we're talking about the microphone. Wow, that was spooky. Have you ever walked into a room and forgot why you walked into that room? Yeah, I do that all the time sometimes. Podcasting for profit, monetizing and sponsorships, affiliates. We're talking about that. Podcasting hosting plans, whether you're going to go with EC, Like Talk Radio and podcast, which is Elite Conversations, or you're going to go with Anchor FM. So again, this is Podcasting Your Purpose webbook. It is available on Amazon. So make sure you check that out. Get your copy because again, it's got the planner there. You can list out all your episodes, your guests, your topics, the dates that you're pre-recording, the dates that you're publishing, and how you are promoting yourself, because that is one of the best practices, promoting. And if you're interested in learning more about Anchor FM, it's got from soup to nuts on that. You can have a list on your sponsors wish list. I've got that there. And also, how to connect with your guests if you want to interview. So that is Podcasting Your Purpose workbook that's available for $15.99 on Amazon.com. So just look that up, Podcasting Your Purpose, Amazon.com. I'll leave that in the show notes as well. And then the last thing, so that's why you need to have that base of operations for your podcast, so people can get all that information, as well as any affiliates, anything that you're selling, merchandise, so forth and so on. And last but not least, Plan your content in advance. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail, which is why if you're interested in my 60-minute or 90-minute mini coaching sessions, remember, you will get this podcast planner. And what it is, it's where we're going to list the title, the description, publish date, social media, also talking about equipment. Remember, I talked about equipment, headphones, microphones. I'm going to talk about platforms, hosting platforms, talking about editing, and then again, the schedule. So this is the perfect time for you to start a podcast. Let me review the podcasting best practices, part 1 for today. Choose a topic that you're passionate about. Whatever it is, what is it that you want to talk about for days, for weeks, for months, for years from now? That is your passion. That is your topic. That is your niche. And you can take that niche and you can narrow it down. What do I mean? You can take a topic. Perhaps you're interested in travel. Now you want to niche it down to the type of travel: family travel, couple travel, honeymoon travel, or perhaps European travel, international travel, domestic travel, whatever the case may be. Niche it down so that you're comfortable in speaking about a particular part of that topic. Number 2, publish your first 3 episodes at the same time, if at all possible, so that when you get new listeners and they want to binge on your episodes, they have more than one to listen to. Number 3, promote your podcast. How are you going to promote it? Are you using social media, email, newsletters, word of mouth, business cards, flyers on the bulletin board? People do that. I still use bulletin boards. If I see a bulletin board at church, the grocery store, liquor store, whatever the case may be, I'm going to promote myself. I'm going to put it up there because that's the only way I'm going to get out there. And if you want to, and you have the budget, you can buy ads on Facebook. You can buy ads on Instagram. Look, you can buy ads in local newspapers. Find out about organizations, sporting leagues that have ads. Now, things are a lot different, but schools have fundraisers, churches have fundraisers. Magazines, Black-owned newspapers, they have areas that you can promote yourself. Business cards, $25 business card size ads. So they think about that as well. Have a website, either a website or a blog. Head over to delblogger.com. There, I also give you tips on blogging and podcasting. And then my website, which I also have the podcast listed there as well. So have a home base of operations to keep all your podcasts together. And last but not least, plan your content in advance so that you know what you're going to talk about. Have that calendar. Use that calendar. Stay organized, because you know what? Life happens. Things happen. You want to go and just relax. You want to go on vacation. Something may happen. You just don't want to do anything. And so if you have all your content done, you're good. So today, again, best practices part 1. Every Wednesday is blog your way to a business profit. Tiny URL, blog to profit. Check that out, because I'm always giving you blogging tips and trends that's going to turn your passion of blogging into a profit. If you want to find and follow me on all my social media platforms, my Linktree ID is Del Blogger. So check that out as well. If you'd like your 30-minute complimentary discovery call, send an email to info@ablakeenterprises.com so we can get you on the schedule. If you want that 60-minute or that 90-minute mini coaching session, we'll get you set up as well. I have time beginning next week. This week I'm booked, but next week I have a few slots open. So make sure you get with me. And then on Saturdays on Anchor FM, the Delaware Blogger Podcast. So again, if you have any questions, just send me an email. I'd appreciate it. Grab your coffee cup, whatever the case may be. Meet me here again tomorrow morning, or go back and listen to the other episodes. And until the next time, stay smart, stay safe, and stay social, still from a distance. Now, you guys know I went to the march in Middletown, this peaceful protest and march in Middletown on the 7th, which was Sunday. So I am actually going to Reading Middle School in Middletown to have a COVID-19 test done because I want to make sure that, I was out there with all those hundreds of people protesting, marching, and walking. Even though I had my mask on, I want to be safe and sorry. So on the 12th, Reading Middle School, they're doing free COVID-19 testing. And guess what? It's the saliva swab, not the poke you in the brain thing that I had done one time. Whatever. So again, stay safe, stay smart, stay social. Check out all my social media platforms, and I'll see you tomorrow. Same time, perhaps. Same station, definitely. See ya. It's the DE Diva, aka the Delaware Blogger. Have a beautifully blessed day. Bye-bye.